Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 3rd of March 2026, Season 30, Episode 9. Bloody freezing here in Wellington, pouring down with rain. Winter is here, and I'm guessing all the weather we've been getting has been from a certain Mr. Mike Sheehan down in Ashburton. Thank you for sending us the weather. Good morning.
Bulla Banaka, how are you?
Oh, Bulla. Oh, bloody cold. I have to get another blanket out of the closet, I think, to keep me warm at night. It was bloody freezing here in Wellington.
Yeah, we've just had 2 days of rain and the sun's out, so it's she's looking good down here in the Burton today.
Oh, I know. Well, the thing is, it's we're about a month away now, month and a bit away from club rugby kicking off around the Motu, and well, it's just, we're just in the midst of the crazy world of Super Rugby. I mean, we'll just jump straight into it because the thing is, I can't see how much more crazy we could get. Oops, I didn't add the results there. Wow, I was going to start the show and I forgot completely about it, with 2 steam trains just smashing into each other, because I can tell you what a train wreck of a weekend for all the tipsters. I mean, even the Aussies on their Rugby Heaven program picked the Highlanders to beat the Reds, and I'm going, okay, well, that's a turn up for the books. But Moana at home playing against the Western Force kicked off. The Force got it off to a 35-19 win. Didn't let Moana in the game at all. It must have been the Hurricane-style jerseys the Western Force were wearing. They were looking pretty dapper. And then, of course, we had the Highlanders. And, well, the first thing that comes across my mind there, I mean, yeah, congratulations on the Force picking up the win. But the Highlanders, was Cameron Miller the player missing in action on Friday night?
Yeah, well, the disappointing performance, I thought. I thought they probably should have and could have won it, but they just didn't look like the Highlanders we've seen in the first couple of rounds. But full credit to the Reds, they were always going to bounce back, and Les Kiss looked pretty stoked with himself.
Oh, I know, and also with the show going live all across the land and all around the globe, forgot to say right at the start of the show, Rugby Chat brought to you by friends Joseph Foursquare with the team of Josh and the team that down there. Go and visit them or visit their Facebook page to find how much cheese is worth at the moment. Because I tell you what, with all that's going on in the world, I'm expecting not just the price of petrol to go up, but also the price of our food. There we go. But anyway, back to what we were talking about, and thank you very much for your support, Josh. It was a typical Brisbane night, though, wasn't it? Started off dry, ended up being a mud bath.
Yeah. No, it was. It was a typical Brisbane night. The crowd came out in force, the Reds got the job done. I haven't really got much more to add than that, to be fair.
Well, yeah, and I've got a comment here that we'll bring up in a moment. But, the Reds, I mean, again, I will say it, we did have them as our Aussie team of the season, and now they're underway. They're going to be a hard team to not pick against or pick in your fantasy sides. But it's sort of like, even the Aussies, I think it was on the breakdown, was saying, Queensland, even the breakdown people on Sky Sport here in New Zealand, picking that Queensland are still going to be the team to beat in Australia. But I guess we'll find out this weekend when I think they take on the Brumbies. But the next game, though, in the mud bath of Lautoka, and stupid passing by the Hurricanes, saw an intercept try win it for the Drua. We always said this was going to be a bit of a banana skin. We both picked the Hurricanes to win, but I mean, the weather played a part, let's be honest. But the Drua, they just stuck to their guns. And as I said, I thought the Canes played okay with Harkin at first five. He does play first five for the Wellington Lions. So it's not like a new position for him. But they just, the conditions just fell in the favour of the Drua.
Yeah, absolute scenes in Lautoko. It was a great game. The Fiji have just stepped it up a notch. Their defence was rock solid. Individual standouts. Lamani at 9, he was on, then went off, then come back on, and Drew Sessi's finally woken up and playing like the star he is. But full credit to Fiji. The conditions did play a part, but it's just that's Fiji at their best.
It was, and the thing is, I mean, at least the Hurricanes walked away with a point. That's all I can be happy about. If you can leave any game with a point, that's always, i.e., a bonus. Irony that. But, I mean, big game this week, though, for the Canes coming up, so we'll keep an eye on how that goes. And then, of course, we had the Chiefs versus the Crusaders. Everyone, or especially those north of the Bombay Hills here in New Zealand, we're all going the Chiefs because and if you watch the breakdown on Sunday night, I think the whole show was dedicated to the Chiefs. You'd think they'd won it. You know what I mean? Watching that show. But the Crusaders did the business. Will Jordan, great try-saving tackle right at the end there. But, of course, there were a couple of moments in that game, especially with Havili being tipped up by Prophet off the ball and landing, his feet were literally pointing to the sky. No TMO came involved. And then a young Josh Flavel has asked, has there been any word on Tamati Williams' suspension yet? Okay, so he got cited, I believe, after the game, if I'm not correct. Why was Prophet not cited for that tackle off the ball on David Havili?
Yeah, it's a hard one. It was a great game of rugby. The crowd was unreal. It was probably the most people I've seen at FMG Stadium. But, there was a couple of incidents there that are being debated fiercely on social media. I'm not going to weigh in on it, but I do think that the clean out of Pupo Vai deserves to be cited. He come in the ruck from the side, which is illegal, and he was right in front of the ref. And as for the Havili incident, well, apparently 2 minutes before there was another incident. So we'll just leave it at that. But no, another great game. Will Jordan was on fire, and 10 points in it. Yeah. I actually picked the Chiefs to win it.
Yeah, up your ass. Good morning, Mr. Bell. How are you?
Very good morning. A very good morning. Crusaders never in doubt. I picked them just because I've never seen them really lose 3 in a row. I mean, they had their troubles at the beginning of the season, but they had to come right at some point with that squad. I remember having a chat to Matt Todd, and he said they were fit, they were on the ball. He liked what he was seeing. Obviously, they were going to miss Tom Christie's defence. What a game. 14-0 down. Mentally, you'd think you're gone. 2 tries down. Morale drops. But, Prophet gave them just the energy they needed going into the second half. So it's about all I can say on that. Wound them up, which was good. And they seem to come out pretty measured. And Will Jordan, Leo Willie, we'll see them on the tour of South Africa for sure. Hotham looked good. Young halfback. Like the cut of his jib. And Kimera stepping up when he needed to. So great result. And look, I'd be silly not to credit the Chiefs. What a fantastic game from the likes of Tupu Vai, Josh Lord. And, just great to be back with the fellas today. But, certainly some great prowess from the Chiefs and a game very deserving of the expectations that lived up to. A shame it wasn't a try in it right on full time. But, what a game, boys, and great to be back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Great to have you back. Great to have you back, Donny. It's been a minute.
Pleasure, boys. Yeah, been a hot minute and very excited. I've managed to watch a lot of Super Rugby over the last few weeks, and I'm loving what I've seen. But I felt for Rebs. I felt for his Hurricanes because I picked them 12 and under. But we'll get to that. I won't get ahead of myself. And great that our sponsors, Foursquare, they do a wonderful job, especially over in South Westland of the South Island. Great to see them on board.
I know it is. Yeah, I'm still suffering after that Hurricanes loss, but I will blame the weather. I mean, they had a game on. They had a game on before that, and they actually stopped it at half time because it was ripping the field up too much. So, in the development game. So, yeah, that's how bad it was. They couldn't even finish one game, and then they put a super game on. But then,
Can you believe it, Rebs? The state of that ground there in La Toca. I couldn't believe it.
I know,
Yeah.
and it was still 26 degrees and 100% humidity. You know, it was, and they had water breaks. And I'll get onto that in a minute and get your thoughts.
We'll get onto that. We're getting ahead of ourselves with that game. We're going to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we'll get onto that, but we'll just finish off with what a great game by the Brumbies. Oh, I was sitting there on the edge of my seat, going, "Don't let the bastards win." Don't let them win.
Rebs, the big avid Blues supporter he is.
And wow, you get guys like James Slipper, who, when most drop forwards would grab the ball and just roll it up and roll it up. No, James Slipper, 200 plus veteran of the game, puts in a kick and sets up the most amazing try assist by a prop forward, I think, in the history of Super Rugby.
It was unbelievable kick, and Southern should look to sign him in a couple of years' time once he's given up the Brumbies. He'd fit in very well down there, I feel. What a kick. What a magical kick. Hasn't he been good, Slips? I mean, he's really improved under Chrono in terms of his scrummaging, which he needed to do. But around the field, he's always been an immense player, character and leader of that side. But, wow, that kick was second to none. And just having that ability and nous of exactly what to do in that situation as a prop forward defies all the odds, really, doesn't
it? Yeah. I'll tell you what, you'll have trouble kicking Fridge Williamson out of the front row, Donny, down here.
Yeah.
But
Fridgie can play him with
but great game.
You're right.
Yeah.
You did right. Yeah, that's my solution. They're both good characters, I'm sure. Fridgie certainly is. But oh boy, yeah, that game, eh? Well, I'll let you, Mike. I'm sure you've got some thoughts on it, and Reb, some further thoughts.
Well, this was only the second game that I picked. I picked the Force to win and the Brumbies to win, and all the other games sunk me. So hope they'll have a better week this week. But the Blues just about stole it. The Brumbies were very lucky to come out on top. But
So my takeaway from that though was how the Brumbies are playing 80-minute rugby. So even if they were behind, they're still playing this new form of 80-minute rugby. And but what is annoying me in all of these games, I think it was the Highlanders Reds game that was on, and the game had been going for 20 minutes, and we'd already seen 27 kicks.
Mm-hmm.
That's more than a kick a minute. I mean, sure, near the end of the game, we're going for your 50-22s and stuff like that. But, gentlemen, are we seeing too much kicking? I mean, if you look at teams that keep the ball in hand, they're winning.
Yeah, great. Yeah, Cameron Miller, put that boot away. You're a talented 10. We like the cut of your jib. We know you can win games. Yeah. He's just got to measure his kicking. No disrespect to very, very good 10, but he's got to measure it. No, I don't think I'm the only one saying that. Is that agreed?
Yeah, I think especially in the game in Fiji, we've seen a lot of kicking, but some of the kicks, they pulled off some of the kicks, and some of the kicks got lost on by the other opposition. But I don't know. I'm on the fence really.
Yeah,
wouldn't have bounced much in Latogo, would it? The ball wouldn't have bounced much.
You could actually see the ball sort of hitting the ground and just staying right there with a nice little severe shape in the mud, you know. And no need for a kicking tee, just and then have a crack. But that led to the unbelievable table. For the first time in 30 years.
Finally, the Aussie team's showing some backbone.
But finally, after 30 years, 3 rounds in, it's the first time every team has won a game.
Oh, that's good. That's good for the comp.
Yeah. So, what do we read into that? I mean, the Aussies really haven't, they've had it pretty easy. Similar table to what we saw last year. I'll blow it up so we can see who the top 6 are. Oh, look at that. Who's in 4th place? The mighty Hurricanes ahead of the evil Empire. But, yeah, it's sort of like this is where I think in the next couple of weeks we're going to see how good. I mean, the Brumbies are good, right? They'll be there, the perennial semi-finalists. Yeah, they're like the New Zealand Black Caps. They're always got a semi on them, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that this morning about the Black Caps. New Zealand has the most semis in cricket.
I'll tell you what, boys, I'd do some naughty things to see us beat South Africa at a sport. Wouldn't that be a nice change?
Oh, I know. Yeah, true.
Doesn't happen often. We beat the Rainbow Nations, so not of late anyway.
Well, we'll see tomorrow, won't we? Is it tomorrow? Yeah. I think it's tomorrow. But anyway, so... Yeah, but if we look at that table, sure, we're 3 rounds in, and the Hurricanes, you know, they've got a game in hand. But do you think the Waratahs, I mean, they will have the Hurricanes this week at home.
What a game.
The Waratahs are proving hard to beat at home. But do you think the Canes are going to be filthy for losing that game against the Drua, and then we'll start seeing the slide of the Waratahs and the increase of performance from the Reds?
Yeah, it's a hard one. Like, I don't think the Canes will be filthy. They'll just be disappointed because they could have. Well, they should have won it, but that's just.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be interested in how the Canes play now because, unfortunately, Brett Cameron is gone for the season.
Yeah, I'm gutted for the young guy.
So, at the start of the season, the coaching team would have been going, right, this is how we're going to play the game. We're going to have Love at first 5. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. Injury, Ruben Love. Okay, Brett Cameron's coming in. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing that. We'll have him Harkin at fullback. We'll be doing this, that, and the other. Boom. Brett Cameron's gone. Okay, so Harkin will move him into first. I mean, they've probably changed their game plan 3 or 4 times in 3 or 4 weeks, the poor old Hurricanes. So do you think we'll see a sort of similar sort of game from them this week? Or do you think they will come out with something totally different against the Waratahs?
Yeah, it's going to have to be a different game plan against the Waratahs. Well, they hopefully won't be playing in the mud bog of Lautoka, but they'll have the heat to contend with. I noticed that they arrived yesterday. But what I am waiting for is our Duplessis Karifi to come back. He can't be far away yet. You know, surely he's going to be this week or next week. You know,
I think he'll be out for 2 or 3 weeks.
And that might just be the spark that they need. But take nothing away from Larkai and Braden Otto. You know, they're all class.
Yeah, and so that's the top 6 anyway. We don't want it to be a Hurricanes program, even though I'd love to make it just about the Hurricanes.
This weekend, yeah.
And if we look at the bottom there, I mean, you know, major moving round because, you know, 1 win and you're in the top 6 by any team, basically. I mean, Moana started off with that hiss and a roar and they've sort of been brought back down to earth. You know, now the Drua are up there. The Force have got their hand in the cookie jar. The Highlanders, well, I don't know. I just hope we're not going to see what we saw last year with the Highlanders. They lost several games by less than 7.
We don't need that. They've got to beat the Force in Dunedin. It's an absolute must. They're a better team than that, the Highlanders. I'm such a fan of their team across the park. I was gutted to see them go down to the Reds. I would absolutely love to see them come up and put the Force away. No disrespect to a Force team that will pounce and have been slightly underestimated. But that's my thoughts on the Highlanders. I think they do it. If they can beat the Crusaders, go toe-to-toe with the Chiefs, and then show glimpses against the Reds, surely they've got to live up to their potential this season.
Well, in the famous words of Rhodey, maybe the coach has got his mind somewhere else. But now that John Hart has come out and backed old Jamie Joseph, a certain person who loves John Hart has said he's now totally backing Dave Reading. So, because he won't take any recommendations from Mr. Hart. But, you look at the Crusaders, this is the great thing about this weekend's games. It's going to be sorting out a lot of, boys from the girls, basically, the also-rans and who's actually going to do anything. So what we can do, though, is before we jump into that, we'll have a quick talk about some of the players. And this is the current standings in the Player of the Year. And all I can say is, gee, I'm so happy I've got Kale in my fantasy rugby team. I've had him for 3 weeks in a row now, and he's delivered every time.
Yeah, me too. I've got him in there. I didn't have him in the first round. Kept him since, and it's time for that McWright to come in. What a fetcher. And time for me to look at some of the Drua players. Good point. I'll tell you what, Dearns must have got injured on the weekend, did he? He got me 9 points. Does anyone know what happened to the great man?
Sorry, I missed the name. Who?
Warner Dearns.
Oh, no. I watched the game. I can't remember when he went off, but he definitely was in there.
Yeah.
I was just laughing, actually, because during the game I thought his nice perm was getting a bit wet because he looked a bit flatter than normal. He looked a bit flatter than normal. But yeah.
That mud struggling, mind. Yeah.
And then, of course, in saying that, this was the team of the week from Fantasy Rugby. Prophet, I mean, he should have lost points for that tip tackle. But, George Bell, he had a good game there at hooker. 2 by my, he's been consistent. Alan Craig from the Moana Pacifica, he had a few good runs there himself. Yeah, but was the player of the week Leo Willie?
No.
Hat-trick in a big game. Hat-trick in a big game, steps up here. How can it not be? If you're playing a team that made the finals and the Chiefs, I feel like he's got to be up there, doesn't he, Mike? He's got to be right up there.
Oh, yeah, I suppose I'll give it to you.
Good Otago, man.
Oh, yeah, true that. Yeah, no.
But, I don't know. Who would it be otherwise? Frank Lamani had a pretty good game.
Yeah, he did have a good game.
Yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts, boys? Yeah, I thought he was right up there, Leo Willie. It's been a bit quiet first 2 games, but yeah, I'm open to a discussion here.
Well, yeah, I don't agree with Lennox getting the most points. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out these points. I think they get a point for doing up their left boot before their right boot sometimes.
Mate, I had Lonergan from the Brumbies, and I won't touch on it for long, but look, the Brumbies, I beg your pardon, the Australian commentator said Lonergan had a great game, played 80, and said was one of the Brumbies' best in a tough display and showing where the Brumbies got lucky. They said Lonergan was one of their best players, got his hands on the ball plenty, 80 minutes of footy, comes out with 15 points. So, yeah, I won't go down a rabbit hole, but that says enough for me.
That's not that Morgan Turinui opening his mouth again, is it?
Well, I've had Lonergan in my as my starter, as my halfback in fantasy for all 3 rounds, and I'm at the moment not going to get rid of him. I mean, he is the captain and he is playing full 80 minutes. and he is, and he has been leading the team around the paddock really well. So yeah,
Who's
and
that,
that's what I'm
Reds?
saying. How can
Sorry?
he get for all points and Lennox on a losing side get 52?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. I mean, I thought Lennox was solid, but 52 points. But you know, it is what it is, and shout out to him. And he had to start. So yeah.
Yeah, but Leroy Carter, he's just shown his class. He'll definitely be going to South Africa. I mean, when he set up that try,
phenomenal. Yeah,
yeah, when he set that try up from his own his own goal line, he's got speed, that boy, and I'm sure the sevens are missing him big time as we head to Vancouver. But that's the team. So we'll have a look now. We will be back on Thursday with all the team lineups. That seems to be what everyone's liking about our 2-show week. But we can have a quick crystal ball gaze. And of course, Friday night, the Chiefs take on Moana Pacifica, gentlemen. Can Moana upset the apple cart?
No, I'm going to take the Chiefs 15 and over.
And it is going to be played at Hamilton. So, yeah, I can't put my finger on why. Moana's got has got the skills, they've got the players, they've got everything. They've got, I mean, Tana Umanga has been doing well with his coaching, I believe. But, Chiefs at home. I mean, if any team's filthy, it's the Chiefs after losing to the Crusaders. So, I mean, they've won now 24 out of their last 26, 28 games in Super Rugby, and they've only lost finals. So you'd be a mug not to actually say the Chiefs 13 plus.
Yeah, easy.
20 plus for me. Damian McKenzie playing at home, coming off a loss. No disrespect to Moana. They've got a lot of talent. They're a very well coached side by Tana. Certainly on their day, they can turn up and they could prove me wrong. But Chiefs getting players back, playing at home, coming off a loss, that's a 20-pluser, isn't it, boys?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a try fest. I got a horrible feeling.
You pick a few of the Chiefs in your fantasy side, wouldn't you? Gee whiz.
Well, I got 2.5, but it is going to be maybe a complete lookabout. I was in the top 200, and now I'm 1,300,000th millionth or something. So
Moana need to step up there and surprise us all, don't they? They need to. To fire the odds there.
But and then after that, of course, Friday night, 9:30 New Zealand time, we've got the Waratahs taking on the mighty Hurricanes over there in Sydney. Don't know what the weather's going to be, but the way the weather has been looking, I'm expecting another wet game.
If it's anything like Christchurch and Ashburton, it will be.
Oh no, sun's out. Sun's out down. Yeah, we got the sun today. Yeah. Thank God.
Well, it's come our way, all that bloody weather. It's freezing here in Wellington.
Yeah, you go first on that one, Mike.
Waratahs and Canes, yeah. Geez, I don't know. Am I going to back the Canes? Oh, I might go.
I can turn you off.
Oh no. Waratahs by 6 and under. I'll do that.
I'll mute him. I have all the power here. Don't forget that, gentlemen.
All the power. I've been impressed by the Canes reps in terms of that first round. Obviously, couldn't quite get the job in the chocolates last week. Tars have impressed me. Guys like Charlie Gamble, Max Jorgensen, really impressive. Young hooker, Ioane Moana, and yeah, they've got some talent. I think the Canes will be too strong there. I think Canes by 5. Tight one.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking to Fihi taking on Jorgensen.
That'll be a great battle.
That's going to be a great battle. You got Proctor there in the centres, and of course Oasis. He's been in my team the last few weeks and scoring me plenty of points as well. He's been on fire. Larkai, well, he
Great
can
player.
do the business when he wants. Cam Roygard will need to have a blinder, literally, because we need. I think there was a little bit of missing leadership there in Fiji. And so Cam Roygard, as the incumbent All Black scrum half, will need to literally step up and say, you think you're going to get the Bledisloe? Don't think so, because this is a mini Bledisloe for me, because there's a lot of Wallabies in that Waratahs squad after they've raped and pillaged all the other Super Rugby teams, to take all the players away. Pete Samu's going to be a tough one. He's getting his groove on at the Waratahs. But, of course, I'll have to go the Hurricanes to win by 10.
I think Geordie Barrett's key for me. I think he's a real leader in that side. I've been enjoying his goal kicking, his long-range efforts. I think he comes into play in a big game like this, the big second five, but some great battles all round. So many star players. I've talked about some of them in that Waratahs. It'll be a very evenly matched game, and I hope it lives up to its expectations there at the SFS. That's where they are. But for me, Geordie Barrett, where do you guys see him in this game? Especially with the first 5 away injured.
He needs to. He needs to step up, but I want to see Kirifi back ASAP. I think he's one of the missing links.
Rabs is right. Roygard and Lakai are world-class players. We know that. We've seen that. They've got to step up if they win this game. I'm with you.
Yeah, and also with your fantasy, because I know young Josh at Foursquare, Franz Joseph, is a big fan of the fantasy. When you're looking at your players, look who else other than the first 5 kicks the goals. Because when I lost Brett Cameron last week, after he went down injured, I went, oh, bugger. But then I realised I had Geordie Barrett. And I went, oh, phew.
Not a bad replacement. Yeah,
and some of the fullbacks go for the kicks and all that sort of stuff. So really, when you're looking at your players, look at who else can kick in case someone else goes down. Because, I thought I was in for all money last week with Cam Miller and Barrett in the side, and then I thought, oh, great. But then Cam Miller got 5 points. A first 5 got 5 points.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. So then we move.
Don't get them started.
No. Then we move on to the Highlanders taking on the Force, 4:35 New Zealand time. Down there in Dunedin, they'll be hoping for a packed stadium because Forsyth Bar is broke.
Yeah, I hope people turn up. Sorry, you go, Mike. I really do hope people turn up. This game's a must-win for the Highlanders. We need to win it and win it preferably with a bonus point. But the Force are actually playing really well. I'm surprised with them this year. But I want to see Lavanini back. He's no good in the development side. Imagine bringing over a 200 game plus international star from Argentina and playing him in the development team. No, it's not good enough. I want to see him. I want to see him starting, or at least on the bench. I'd love to add to that. He's got to come in. He's an international lock. They've brought him over. Yes, I understand they said he's come in late in the pre-season. He's had 3 weeks now. I think the Highlanders need to make a couple of little subtle changes. Not doing anything wrong, just tinker slightly. Get a third lock in. Get some big physical specimen in. He's there. He's played plenty of international rugby. You alluded to it. I think Highlanders 12 and under. I don't know where you sit with the score, but it's an absolute must-win for them against a Force side you estimate at your peril. They will pounce if the Highlanders make errors. Just hoping they can finish off tries this week and get a job done because the talent's there. And I want them to win for Mike and Buff.
Buffer, Highlanders 6 and under for me. I think it's going to be closer than people realise.
Well, I just want to throw something out there why he might not have been playing. He's Argentinian. Okay. He's Latin. He looks good. Did he? You know, I mean, is there skullduggery going on here in the background that we don't know about? You know, was he doing some samba or some tango? I don't know. But yeah, no, I agree. Lavani should come back in. Highlanders, for me, I think they're going to be really being put under the pump by Jamie Joseph, who unfortunately, Mr. Rhodey, I still think he is the man that's going to get the big job, and he'll want to go out on a celebratory note, and I think the Highlanders will win by 20.
Who's it?
Mike, your call. 12.
It'll be 6 and under for me. But yeah, it's looking like Jamie Joseph is the leading contender. But if he is to get the job, you know, he's probably going to have to leave the Highlanders, and you know, there's going to, you know, ideally he could stay, but he's probably going to have to leave the Highlanders and focus on the All Blacks. But then, you know, is that going to disrupt things? You know, have all this going on in the background, and yeah.
Wow, could be Stephen Larkham.
Imagine Bernie coming up.
Oh, how funny would that be? What I'd like to see is them actually name someone that they haven't even spoken about. You know what I mean? So
Eddie Jones.
Well, yeah. You know, why not? He's got the record. But no, hopefully not Eddie Bloody Jones.
Tony Brown.
Oh, Tony Brown would be good, yeah.
Yeah, maybe, you know, because it's all coming out in the wash now with doping in South Africa. Apparently, up until the 2019 and 2023 World Cups, I know a bit of a segue, news is coming out that the South African players are the most highest caught out players being drugged, yet they had a 6-fold decrease during the World Cup years. What's going on there? Give us the trophy back.
Surely.
No.
Didn't that prop, that big prop, what's his name, Bongi, didn't he get caught a while ago?
Yeah, last year. But anyway, that was a segue. Then, of course, 7 o'clock at the National Stadium of New Zealand, where no one will go except maybe for a concert.
Games, Eli.
Well, the All Blacks do, yeah.
Yeah, that's enough for me. If the All Blacks keep winning there, we keep using it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Don't they play Italy there this year?
The Garden, no.
Oh, I can't remember. But they play someone in that Nations Cup debacle. But Blues and Crusaders, well, you know there's only one way I'm going to go. 13 plus Crusaders. Let's move on. No, Mike.
Blues 6 and under.
Ooh. Okay. Casting vote for Mr. Bell.
Draw, then goes to overtime.
What did you say?
Draw.
You can have a draw after extra time, yeah.
Draw, and then someone wins it in OT. Golden point. Yep.
Well,
on full time.
Yeah, it depends on how much the Blues pay for a penalty try. Let's see if that comes back. You know,
look at them. They've got some good players. Dalton Papali'i, Caleb Clark, Sam Derry. A few guys intrigued me last week with the Blues. Perifetta will need a big game. Is Bowden Barrett back this week? Anyone know?
No,
he's still having a baby. I think he had triplets.
When's he back?
Probably the same. Probably he'll be back probably the same week Damien McKenzie's back, because they'll be ringing each other saying, "When are you going back?" "I'm not going back till then." "Oh, well, I'll just wait for them."
Be great to have them both back in the comp.
Well, didn't Cortez Ratama, no, Rivers Rehana or Cortez Ratama also have time off to have a baby?
No,
Cortez just had a kid. I'm not sure if he's injured or big, but Cortez just had one. Yeah, I'm not sure about Rivers. I thought Rivers got injured in the warm-up.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. He's injured.
Bang on.
Yeah, and only because you just said that, what about the rubbish with the mouthguard going off on Ben Donaldson before the Moana game? And then I get a text message from Mike going, Donaldson's out. And I'm going, bugger. And I went, oh, that's all right. I don't have him in my fantasy team. Yet then I'm looking at the TriBet, the initial results, and he scores a conversion. I went, hang on, what's going on here? Only to find out that he did come back on the field 3 minutes into the game because he was off pre-game for an HIA. And apparently he got it hitting a tackle bag.
To me.
I know, it just makes you crazy. Anyway, and then we've got the Brumbies taking on the Reds at cold Canberra, and I can tell you it'll be bloody freezing there on Saturday night, I bet you. Brumbies Reds, have the Reds turned the corner with the victory over the Highlanders last weekend, and have the Brumbies starting to run out of gas, especially after their performance against the Blues, even though they dug deep to win that game?
I think the Brumbies will march on, and I think they'll do it quite comfortably, 12 and over.
Okay.
That'll be a great game, I think.
Yeah. Who's got the bye?
Sorry, and the bye this week goes to
PG. No, yeah.
No, good question. Chiefs, Moana, Waratahs, Hurricanes, Highlanders, Force, Blues, Crusaders.
Drua.
Oh, yes, the Drua. So they get to lick their wounds for a week before they start digging out their passports again. So, as I said, before I move on to our next bit of fun, so first 3 rounds, is it panning out the way that you saw the first 3 rounds? Who's your outsider team that are playing better than you thought?
Oh, Waratahs.
Waratahs.
I think the Brumbies and the Waratahs have sort of surprised a few people, but going back years, we've always known the Brumbies have had the ability. They just haven't turned up on the day and won matches. But the top 2 teams for me are the ones that have surprised me definitely.
Yeah. Well, myself, I can't not look at last year, and this is the similar position we were in last year, and for some reason we're having trouble streaming to Facebook. This may be an issue on Facebook's end. Wow. Someone doesn't like us talking about stuff, but we're still going to Rugby Redefined and to YouTube, so we're all still live. That's annoying when that happens because we haven't showed anything. No video. I mean, I'm sure Sky can't. Maybe I mentioned breakdown too many times, but we'll move on because this happened overnight, and I will add this to the screen. This was posted last week. It should hang in the Louvre. What is it? It is the Six Nations Trophy. What? It's been retired? Why? Because the Irish don't want the Scots or the French to have it, and it got destroyed in a car fire overnight. Now, oops. That's what you can say about that, can't you? They do have a replica, and whoever wins will win the replica. They're going to rebuild this trophy for next year. It's an interesting news item to have over the last 24 hours.
Yeah, well, the first thing that popped into my mind was Princess Diana. I don't know why.
or Andrew.
That's the news at the time, wasn't it?
Or Andrew. As I saw I know it's a bit too soon to talk about car crashes, but they did say somewhere earlier in the week that condolences go out to the royal family for Andrew's car accident next Wednesday. I know, but that's all right. We've got a war. We've got a war to deal with now, so Epstein will come back into play after whoever wins that.
In the world, yeah.
So the games this week, anyway, these are European times, Friday, Saturday. So it's Saturday morning, New Zealand time. Ireland taking on Wales. Oh, it was so sad for the Welsh 2 weeks ago. You know, they threw it away against the Scots.
They could have won that Wales, so much.
Yeah. Bundyaki is apparently back for the Irish after his suspension. Yeah, I think Wales are on for a bit of shellacking on Saturday morning New Zealand time, gentlemen.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pick Ireland, France, and England to win those matches.
Same boat.
Wow. I'm going for the upset of upsets, and I'm going to say Scotland will beat France at Murrayfield by 6 points.
Finn Russell's key there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could go either way. I think England will beat Italy. England have lost twice. They'll have monumental pressure on from the public and from coaches and just everybody. They've got to win against a very good Italian side. Ireland will be too strong for Wales. Poor Wales, doing it tough. Hope to see Wales compete. Yeah, if there's going to be an upset, it's got to be that game at Murrayfield, if you can call it an upset, which I suppose you can.
Well, you can, because I think they were paying like 20-1 to win the Six Nations, and this is their chance. And they do have a good record. I mean, they know they can win these big games. They beat the English there in round 1, didn't they, to win the Calcutta? So, I'm sticking with the Scots to beat the French. And then, of course, Italy, England. Well, England just a European version of the Blues. And so go the Italians, I say.
Yeah.
So in world rankings, if we look at that, this is how they look going into this weekend's games. Of course, if Ireland do get the win, they'll sneak a bit closer. I think they'll pick up a point or half a point, so they won't move. Scotland have got a chance to jump over Argentina. England, well, they won't pick up many points against the Italians. And then if Wales do the unthinkable, well, they will definitely jump back. I'd say almost, well, they'll still not be in the top 10, but they'll jump above the might of Japan. So won't be much movement in that table, but I suppose the only one that you could look at would be the France-Scotland game. And, I mean, I think you can pick up like 3 points. So even if Scotland win and get the 3 points on the rankings, they won't make much of a movement at all, except the French might go down and they'll stay where they are because they're over 3 points ahead of England. So we've got the Sevens on this weekend over there in Vancouver.
Six Nations.
So the women's pools, New Zealand have got France, Japan and Great Britain. And then the other side of the draw, we've got Australia, USA, Canada and Fiji, the Fijiana. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they have these games. They might as well just go straight to a final, New Zealand versus Australia. Again.
Two class sides, class above everybody else, aren't they?
No, they definitely are. And then, unfortunately, New Zealand have South Africa, who'll probably kick their ass. Spain.
We're going to beat South Africa in 2 sports this week.
We could. But the problem is, they beat us in the last tournament in Perth. Spain, well, they can beat us. Poor old Great Britain, though, I think might be the whipping boys in this pool. And then, of course, you've got Fiji, Australia, Argentina and France. Now, they are every game of that pool I want to see. I mean, because if Fiji get off to a flyer, the battle for second place there between Australia, Argentina and France will be immense.
Yeah, I think, Fiji, Australia would be a great game.
Yes, there's a few tight ones there.
Yeah.
That will be amazing. Two very, very good sides. They're highly competitive at the moment, really is.
Yep. And they'll be looking at finishing somewhere in a good position, because then the following week they're off to the rugby stronghold, the rugby capital of the world, New York City, to play in another round of World Sevens. But I'll watch it. But, you know, to me, after losing the other 8 teams who now play a second division. It just goes to show you, they just had the second division played in Kenya. 35,000 people sold out at Nairobi Stadium for that competition. Why? Because people want to see it. They want to see it in these other places. Take it to Fiji. You know, the way they've got, the way they've got Division 1 set up is just so completely wrong. But anyhow, as I said, a little bit pissed that Facebook have turned off my Heartland page, but we are still going live to the world, and especially now to YouTube if you're following us there. I've only just realised when I had clicked OK for kids, even though we do swear every now and then, I didn't realise until the wife told me, because she's right into YouTube, turn that off, she said. I went, why? Because we're an OK program. It's suitable for kids, excusing the odd swear word. And she went, no, you don't get as much coverage. And I went, what? So I turned it off, and our viewership has just skyrocketed again on YouTube. So come and follow us. We'll be posting more stuff there. We are on the old TikTok now, so I will be asking you gentlemen to send me through your dance videos.
We'll go.
So what? So what's happening? Is this broadcast not broadcasting to Facebook?
No, it's going to Rugby Redefined, which is my international page.
Why is it not going to Facebook?
But it's not going to the Heartland page for some reason.
Okay.
But I'll just download the video and reload the whole thing up again for those that missed the last 20 minutes. But yeah, I don't know. Facebook can be, I don't know, unless I've had someone from the coast have a bitch moan that I'm sponsoring Franz Joseph Glacier. I was thinking about sponsoring the South Westland rugby team, but they blew that. Otherwise, that's us, gentlemen, until Thursday when we got all the teams.
Indeed. It'll be special week, some great mouth-watering matchups, which will be very enjoyable.
Yeah. Any parting words?
No, not really. Just pre-season. Pre-season this Saturday out at the Hines Domain for us. First game, so yeah.
Stay safe out there, ladies and gents, and always appreciate Nia and enjoy your rugby and look after your loved ones, I guess.
And Super Rugby or Picky heading to Timaru. We heading to Timaru
very
to
exciting.
commentate. Hey, are you gonna put your hand up and go, I'll commentate the girls?
Yeah, we'll keep our fingers and toes crossed for that one for sure. I'd love to commentate the ladies in that one. So we'll see what comes of it. But yeah, very exciting. Always grateful for any opportunity. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just about have it sewn up, wouldn't you?
Who knows?
Without letting the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, voice of the South. Our own Ian McLaughlin.
The voice of the Great Southern Pies.
Yes, indeed. Looking forward to seeing that ad come out. I enjoyed voicing for them. Got some up here for you, Mike, so you have to come up and grab them.
Yeah, that's right.
Sponsor.
Great Southern Pies ad, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get them on as a sponsor. Put the word in. So, okay, guys, we'll stay in the studio until the out go. And but to everyone, we'll catch you on Thursday with the teams. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all on Thursday.
See you.
Say bye.